So here it is, the 6th episode in Demon Slayer, and I have to admit this was actually a very funny episode, but a very memorable episode as well. It starts off, of course, them training. 1, they have to do under the waterfall training. 2, they have to do lifting a log, which, if you don't know, logs are really heavy and sturdy, and then they gotta push a boulder. All that stuff is true strength training. The waterfall thing is all about getting the endurance to have a waterfall literally hit you and stand under it. There's a lot of force that's actually applied onto your body if you're under the waterfall, not to mention the temperature itself. So it's kind of funny as these guys are just under the waterfall, and even this moment here where they gotta keep repeating stuff so then that way they can focus as well as not pass out. And like I said, it was a lot of funny moments here, even with Zenitsu flowing down the river and Tanjiro have to save him. And it was pretty good to see them pass all the tests. But of course, the most important test was all about the boulder. Now, before, of course, we get to the Tanjiro and the boulder, there were several times where Tanjiro actually did a lot of the cooking, and pretty much I think he did all the cooking. He cooked the fish, he made the rice balls. I mean, he even did the whole like miso covered rice balls and then cooked them. Even I was like, dang, that actually looks pretty good. I don't mind trying it. And to him, of course, it gave him a lot of memories about his family, and he felt at home with everyone around him. Even when several of the Demon Slayer core members were like, yeah, we're not cut out for this, we're leaving. He's like, you know what? Regardless, thank you for you guys' support, and as long as you're supporting me, I don't have to worry about you, and then we can all fight and get Muzan's head. And they're like, you know what? You're right. So it's good that Tanjiro was able to lift their spirits, because, you know, if they're going to sit there and quit, you're going to kind of feel down about yourself. You're going to be like, dang, I couldn't rise to the level. Because of course they're sitting there training. They see Tanjiro, they see Inosuke, they see all these guys, they're really working hard, and even though they're passing, there's still a lot of work being done. So they're like, dang, we can't even get to that level. We can't even work to be like them. And so a lot of the times, if they're going to surrender and go down the mountain, they're going to feel bad about themselves. But give it to Tanjiro to lift their spirits like, hey, you know what? Just because you have decided to quit doesn't mean that you still can't support me and still have a important role as we fight these demons, and especially Muzan in the future. So it is true, he lifted their spirits, and lo and behold, who knows, they might be able to help out in some way, be that supportive person. But I, of course, I'm like, they're just background characters anyway, so they'll be fine. Okay, whatever. They may die, they may not, but hey, at least they got some training in. Now, just because the Demon Slayer course is training doesn't mean that Muzan himself is just sitting on his laurels and doing nothing. It seems here that this girl, whom we've seen in the past, you know, we never really seen her face as her hair has covered her face. But now that we've seen it and seen that she has this big old eye, I believe she is the new upper 4th rank for Muzan, because the previous 4th rank was killed in the Swordsmith Village arc. So now she's number 4, and she's kind of like the spy. She's tracking all the Demon Slayer courts as they're going around. They're still looking for Nezuko, and that's probably why Muzan has kind of pulled back most demons here and kind of consolidated his resources, for the fact that once he finds Nezuko, he's probably gonna go all in and attack no matter where they're at. So it's only a matter of time before Muzan finds out where Nezuko is and strikes to try to capture her, while the Demon Slayer Course is out there trying to grow stronger. It's kind of like a chess game, if you will. And this girl seems like every night she's sending her scouts out to find where they're at. And hopefully, as you know, the story actually develops, I'm sure that they'll finally find Nezuko when it's right at the moment that maybe Tanjiro's finally done with his training and they're starting to get ready. So then finally the final battle, if you will say, begins or commences. So after Tanjiro gets advice from Genya as far as how to push this huge boulder, he starts to actually concentrate more, and he needs to use more than just his breathing techniques. He needs to use his whole body and concentrate and use all of his senses all at once, but also have the emotional backing, like what are you fighting for? What are you thinking about, to drive him to push this boulder. And in doing so, he says he's thinking about his family, but the biggest thing, which a huge callback that I still feel bad about now, is Rengoku, who says, set your heart ablaze. I mean, every time that brick comes up, when he's showing Rengoku, man, I just get chills, because that's still, man, that sequence of Rengoku and what happened to him, I still feel bad about that, but he's not wrong. I mean, look at this. As he's thinking about the words, set your heart ablaze, he straight up is doing that. Even Genya was saying, yeah, your mark looks a lot darker. And you can see as he's working hard and pushing this, it's almost like he's getting more and more control over his mark. Like he's able to actually invigorate his body, use all the senses, use everything he's learned, and culminate it all together in order to get the job done. And which led me to believe that maybe this final training, I assume it's final, but this final training pushing this boulder is probably now the newest best training for him, because now he's able to take everything he's learned and apply it using the whole body technique, using the fights he's had before, using his senses, using his memories, and bring it all together to have it explode upon this boulder and push it the 380 yards or whatever they had to push it. And it's just like, wow, okay, this is bringing out his mark, and maybe he's going to be able to sense this feeling more often now to bring out like very big, strong strikes when he has to kill demons. For example, like we've seen previously demons that he's faced in all these arcs where he's like, man, I can't cut through, their skin is so tough, especially the Swordsmith village arc. But now when he's able to concentrate so hard, I bet you his strikes will be a lot stronger, and it'll be a lot cleaner of him actually cutting their heads off. I keep saying this with each analysis that, oh man, this training was the best. This is so good for him, but this training is probably going to be the one that we will recall or go back to in the future as he fights stronger ones, because it's probably, as you can see this scene here, as his heart gets ablaze and his whole body is become stronger. I bet you they're going to utilize scenes like this more often in the future as he fights stronger demons. So, you know, give it up for Tanjiro actually bringing it all together. And with the next week's, it looks like next week the title is all about the Stone Hashira. So I wonder if he's finished pushing this boulder, if he's going to have like a one-on-one battle with the Stone Hashira, which would be pretty cool. But for those that don't know, we're coming up on the last 2 episodes of this arc of this season. It's a shorter one, but from my understanding, we're going to get a little bit more time. I believe next week's is going to be 40 minutes long, and then the final one, episode 8, it will be a 60-minute episode. So they're definitely going to wrap up this season very quickly, which, you know, I'm saddened by that. And I guess I can announce this if you didn't know already. Apparently, this arc is going to be the final arc that's actually going to be episodic. The rest of this show, or rest of the series, or I believe it's like Infinity Castle and such, will be in movie form. No longer are we going to have seasons. We're just going to have the last bit of it until they conclude in movie form, which I think is going to be 2 movies. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's going to be like the next few arcs are going to be wrapped up within 2 movies, and then that's it. That's all of Demon Slayer. So I'm saddened by the fact they won't be episodic anymore, but I'm happy with the fact that if it's going to be a movie form, the production costs and everything about it is probably going to be astronomical and through the roof. The graphics, the fights, all of it's going to be absolutely nuts. I can already tell. So I kind of have a good and bad feeling about it. I'm kind of saddened, but I'm kind of happy. But You know what? We'll see what happens when it happens. Anyway, that's going to be it for the analysis. I hope you guys learned something here. But if I am off base, definitely let me know in the comments below. But if you agree with me, definitely let me know. I appreciate you guys. It's been great. It's been awesome doing this for you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Please be safe. And don't forget to subscribe. I love to see you around more often with other anime we review, as well as this one. Have a good one, be safe, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.